Hello, this is Maier+Vidorno Business Talks. My name is Matthias Hansen. I'm a business consultant with Maier+Vidorno, and today we are at Kostal Group in Lüdenscheid, and we're speaking to Mr. Christopher Sanders, Head of Corporate Planning. Thank you for having us today. Thank you for your time. And to start with, would you just please briefly introduce Kostal Group so that our audience gets an idea of what this is all about?
Yes, Mr. Hansen, thank you very much for introducing me, and it is a pleasure to be able to present Kostal and perhaps answer some of your questions. Leopold Kostal is a German family business created in 1912. It's now in its fourth generation of being a successful supplier to the automotive industry. We do have all the most important car manufacturers as our customers, and we have activities in 21 countries with 46 plants employing over 19,000 people and a turnover for last year of 2.6 billion euros. Here in Germany, the headquarters, we employ over 2,000 people, but we have very substantial activities in China, in Europe, and also in Mexico and the United States. The company has grown to a size where we can consider ourselves as a major technological supplier to the car industry.
Oh, thank you. Very impressive. When you describe your products, what exactly are the products you're producing, and who are you selling them to?
Yeah. The products we have are classified into three different groups. They are mechatronic products, which is the combination of electromechanical and electronic products that you would find in all vehicles, such as the steering column switch, which you activate for your lighting, for turn indication, and nowadays many more functions. Roof modules with all the lighting functions, and we then have switch panels which incorporate all the various switches that you will find in the inside, in the cockpit of the vehicles. And finally, what you don't see are all the body control units and electronics that allow these functions to communicate effectively throughout the vehicle. Those are the three main product areas, and we supply most of our customers with a mixture of these different products. Some of those customers are considered by us to be technology leaders, such as Volkswagen, Mercedes and BMW, but others have very important market shares that we are also pleased to be able to participate in, and one of those would be Great Wall in China, who now make up 7% of our global turnover for us.
All right, thank you. And when you're mentioning your international activities, in which markets are you active today with Kostal Group? Is it worldwide, or do you have specific centers of activity?
Because our customers really are global customers, that means that not only are customers like Volkswagen customers here in Europe, but they have their facilities spread out throughout the world, which means we supply them throughout the world. But there are domestic manufacturers also that we will supply. So we are using our capabilities to give a highly professional, efficient, and just-in-time supply of products to our customers.
All right. Looking at the supplier side, why did Kostal Group choose to work with suppliers from outside Germany, with international suppliers, and where do you see the benefits?
We look at the world divided into triad Those are the Americas, Europe, and Asia. As far as possible, we do try to look for suppliers within each of those different regions so that we are optimizing the logistic flow of components. We have been in the Americas since 1973 and have been supplied by local suppliers from a very early stage in the development of our activities. We do use, where there are specific technical strengths as well as competitive advantages, some of those suppliers to supply throughout the world. So tool manufacture is something that we would get out of the Americas. Electronic components would be something that we would get out of Asia.
Okay. And could you share with us some of your experience specifically with suppliers from the US?
Our relationship with American suppliers, as always, when you acquire new business in a location that we haven't had any experience of before, means a very close working relationship to assure that the necessary standards, quality requirements, and the way of doing business is fully understood. This takes time, this takes effort, but we have been able to achieve this in a complete range of components, whether they are molded parts, whether they are electronic printed circuit boards, all the important components of our products we are now able to actually purchase in the Americas.
Okay, very good. Maybe changing the view a bit and looking at the German market. Why is the German market attractive to companies from abroad, to international companies?
I think that this is the technology lead that many German companies are recognized to have, and any supplier who sees an advantage with their products in being such a market is an inspiration for both parties that are involved. It is very challenging. I think the German market has a degree of stability, repeatability, and of course the size of the market itself makes it interesting. It is dealing with a different scale of business, so although the market may be large, you most likely will be dealing with family-owned businesses like Kostal, but in most cases probably a lot smaller. And I think finally it is the commitment that a German customer will give to its suppliers that makes the overall business rewarding.
All right. And entering the German market, is there a general advice that you would give to any company from abroad?
I think you have to do thorough investigation to understand what the market is and what your own business model is, because there is a very different approach to it. They have a different history in both locations of the supplier and the customer. Language has to be considered. The statutory requirements have to be considered. The standards are very important because they are very specific to the European market. So all this makes a challenge, and I think the approach that is necessary is one of thorough investigation, of taking time. The German businessman is very direct and very forthright. There will be little chat in any of the meetings that you will be having. And I think an approach that looks for some short-term return is not going to be sustainable in the German market.
All right. Well, that was very valuable and interesting information, Mr. Sanders. Thank you very much. And thank you to the audience for being with us today. This was Mr. Christopher Sanders from Kostal Group. My name is Matthias Hansen and you've been watching Maier+Vidorno Business Talks. Thank you.